Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Mustard Seed Leadership Podcast, where we are doing a series called Growing Your Leadership Capacity, and we are almost at the end of it. We're on week 5 out of week 6 now. Remember, the definition of leadership capacity is simply how much you can handle as a leader, how much responsibility you can shoulder, how many people you can lead, how many projects you can manage, how much influence you can wield. Now, the good news is that that's not static, that can grow. And this series is all about how do we expand and stretch our leadership capacity. Big idea, leaders of great influence have learned to stretch their capacity as much as possible. So, we've covered the following topics so far. Week 1, focus on as few things as possible. Number 2, do as little as possible. Number 3, meet as few people as possible. Week number 4, make as few decisions as possible. And what we want to focus on today, week number 5, is start planning as early as possible. Now, this is in fact one of the quickest and easiest ways and practical ways that you can expand your leadership capacity. I'm amazed at how many leaders are poor planners. I remember all the way back, my first leadership role, I was now put in charge of leading the youth. The problem was I had a useless leadership team. They were useless. They did not help me at all. I had to do everything. They never did anything. They made no contribution while I was burning out. So eventually I couldn't take it anymore. I sat them down and asked them why they are such a useless team. And basically they told me they were more than willing to help, but the problem is I did no planning as a leader. So I made all the plans on Friday afternoon, just hours before the youth meeting, and because I had made no plans, the team weren't involved in any way, and so I was left to do anything. The problem was not the useless team at all, the team was the useless leader. So what we did is simply arrange a monthly meeting. At the meeting, we scheduled out the next 6 weeks, we had a calendar, we planned it out, we discussed, we got ideas, we put topics, we put responsibilities, it went into the calendar, and just like that, leading the youth became so much easier. What's the point? Just simply learning to plan better gives your team the opportunity to bring out the best that they have to offer, which makes such a difference. So, big idea, you'll never get the best out of your team if they are not given time to bring their best. That's huge. Now, for the revelation that I want to look at this week is, once again, from the life of Jesus. Jesus was, in fact, a master planner. In Luke chapter 10, verses 1 and 2, it says, "After this, the Lord appointed 72 others and sent them 2 by 2 ahead of him to every town and place where he was about to go. He told them, 'The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Ask the Lord of the harvest to send out workers into his harvest field.'" Now, Jesus knew that he only had 3 years of public ministry, and so instead of getting caught up in the whirlwind of the crowd, he invested himself deeply into his 12, into his team, which we've looked at in previous episodes. But then, to maximize each of his visits, as he went from town to preach and teach the kingdom, to maximize those, he started sending his team ahead of him. So first, he sent out the 12 2 by 2. They were the ones who had the most training. He sent them out, and now we read he sends out 72 others. So 72 plus 12, that's about 84 in twos. That could be 42 different towns that he sends a team into. And their job was to prepare the way. They also could preach, they could heal some of the sick. But think about now what it must have been like for Jesus as Jesus entered into the next town. It wasn't a first visit because one of his team had already been there. So by the time Jesus now walks into a new town, already he's got members of his team who know the town. The elders of the town are prepared for the visit. The people are anticipating the visit. The synagogue doors are open for the visit. They know the best place where Jesus can preach and teach. They've already found the best house where the team can stay. In other words, Jesus' visit from town to town became so much more effective because he had equipped the team, made a plan, sent them out. Plus, his team had grown so much because they had the experience of not just being with Jesus, but doing what Jesus did. All because Jesus made a plan. Now that's why that we can enlarge our leadership capacity by simply learning to plan as early as possible. So, big capacity leaders plan early so that the team has time to bring out their best. Jesus' visits became more and more effective and his job so much easier because he planned early so that his team could bring their best. So let's get practical. I want you to evaluate yourself right now. How good are you as a planner? If you're realizing this is an area you could grow so much, here are a couple of practical thoughts. Number one, aim to plan yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily. Be intentional about setting aside time to do your planning. For example, I know October, when October hits, that's the time I should be planning the whole of the year ahead. In my mind, that's the time. What about weekly plans? We've got a staff meeting first thing Tuesday morning. That's when our week starts. Let's set the plan for the week ahead. During this part of my devotion daily with the Lord, plan the day ahead. Be intentional about setting aside time to plan. Number two, find the tool that works for you. Now, whether that's your Google Calendar on your phone, we've got a wall chart as well for the whole year. You've got to find the system that works for you so that you can see the big picture, so that it's with you, so that it's usable, practical, and transferable, ideally, so that others can get onto the same page. Number three, establish your list of priorities and events and make sure those priorities are reflected in your diary. I've always said that a dream stays a dream until it hits your diary. In other words, if something's important to you, it should be reflected in your planning and in your diary. For example, we love our leadership team. We appreciate our leaders and our leadership team, but really we're not going to appreciate them unless there's something in our calendar giving us an opportunity to express that. So being a church, we will set aside one Sunday a year. That's Leaders Appreciation Sunday, where we can make a big thing about our leaders. My point is this: plan it ahead. If it's planned ahead, then your priority can be worked out in a practical way. Number four, put the big rocks in first. What do I mean by that? Not all priorities are equal. So when it comes time to planning, some priorities are high and some are low. Some you can control and some you can't. So to put the big rocks in your calendar first means put high priority, low control first, and then work your way down from there. Let me give you an example. I'm part of an international translocal team. It is wonderful. It's a great, but here's what it means. It means we have a meeting every year where international people are flying in from around the world. It's a high priority and I don't get to set the date. So if I plan that last, I might discover, that week is already taken. That's bad planning. If it's a high priority, low control, put it in first. Other things that I can control more, that are lower priorities, put those in last. And then number five, communicate your plans. I remember wrestling because people in church often would miss the big event on a Sunday, but then I realized we only advertised it a week before when they had already made their plans. Communicate your plans early so that people can get on board. So what's the big conclusion? Big capacity leaders make plans as early as possible so that the team can bring their best and you don't get landed with everything. Hope it helps. Hope you can grow and enlarge your capacity. We'll see you again next week. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Remember, if you'd like the notes that come along with this episode or any one of our past episodes, you can visit outlookchurch.co.za/mustard seed leadership, where you can see all our past episodes, all the resources and notes that go along with this. Until next time, keep growing.